The comparison between running and lifting begins with new data. The study shows resistance work creates stronger changes in fat control and glucose balance. The importance becomes clearer as results appear. That researchers tested both training styles in a controlled setting. You focus on how each workout shapes fat levels and glucose control inside your body. Scientists simulated endurance work through running wheels. You understand that these tests helped measure weight gain and metabolic function with precision. The resistance setup that mimics weightlifting. You notice how the team measured muscle response and insulin signaling in real time. Body scans display the changes clearly. Both workouts reduce fat, and the difference between deeper fat and surface fat becomes easy to see. Performance tests highlight endurance changes. Improvements in capacity correspond with better metabolic function across the study period. Heart and muscle data reveal how each exercise influences internal stability. Stronger organ support connects directly with better blood sugar control. Glucose tests show steady improvement. Each exercise style supports better sugar management and more stable daily levels. Insulin signaling becomes more active under both workouts. Stronger signaling means better glucose use and a reduced risk of developing diabetes. Both exercises deliver benefits. Resistance training reduces visceral fat more effectively and improves insulin sensitivity at a higher level. Fat samples show sharper reductions in the resistance group. The tissue structure appears smaller and more responsive to insulin-based signals that support stable glucose levels. Visceral fat, the type linked to higher diabetes risk, drops more with strength-based training. The scan confirms a stronger metabolic shift inside deeper fat regions. Endurance training increases running capacity and supports moderate improvements in glucose regulation. The changes remain steady, but limited compared to resistance work. Strength-based movement triggers higher muscle engagement. The increased tension stimulates stronger insulin responses inside active muscle fibers. Glucose tolerance curves reveal quicker sugar clearance in the resistance group. The sharper decline shows stronger control over blood sugar after food intake. Weekly fat tracking confirms consistent improvement in both groups. The resistance trend stays lower across all checkpoints and shows more stable long-term progress. Muscle fibers under resistance strain activate more insulin receptors. Higher signaling supports faster glucose uptake and stronger metabolic protection. Heart function readings show healthy improvements in both exercise styles. The resistance group still presents a stronger overall shift in metabolic stability. Fat cell size reduces more in the resistance group. Smaller cells respond better to insulin and store less harmful fat that affects glucose balance. Energy pathway analysis shows higher metabolic adaptation in resistance work. The body shifts energy use patterns more deeply during short intensity-based movements. Insulin resistance scores fall in both training styles. Resistance training lowers the score more, giving the body easier control over post-meal blood sugar. Daily activity logs confirm that both groups stay active. Resistance-trained subjects create stronger muscular adaptations that boost metabolic health. Liver fat drops across both exercise methods. Resistance work shows a greater reduction, supporting healthier glucose production and storage. Mitochondrial activity rises with both workouts. The resistance pattern shows stronger energy use inside muscle cells, leading to better glucose processing. Inflammation markers decline during the study. The resistance group displays a sharper reduction, which supports more stable metabolic function. Muscle samples show thicker fibers under resistance training. Denser fibers allow more glucose to enter cells and lower diabetic risk. Endurance improves with sustained running. The gains help general health, but do not create the same insulin sensitivity jump seen with resistance work. Subcutaneous fat levels drop in both groups. Resistance training cuts more volume and shows a clear structural shift in fat distribution. Glucose transporter activation rises more in strength-based training. Faster transport means steadier blood sugar and lower metabolic strain. Calorie burn differs between methods. Running burns more in the moment, while resistance training maintains higher burn afterward due to muscle repair activity. Hormone balance improves in both groups. Resistance training reduces insulin levels more efficiently, supporting healthier long-term glucose control. Oxidative stress markers fall across the study. Strength-based work produces the larger drop, improving cellular health. Fat oxidation climbs with both styles. Resistance training maintains the highest rate and supports deeper metabolic improvements. Stable sleep patterns support metabolic performance. Resistance-trained subjects maintain steadier sleep cycles that aid glucose management. Insulin sensitivity strengthens throughout the trial. The highest improvement appears in subjects performing structured resistance work. Abdominal fat decline is clear in both groups. Resistance training removes more harmful visceral fat that affects long-term metabolic function. Activation heat maps show stronger demand on muscle tissue during resistance work. The intense recruitment supports better blood sugar control. Capillary density increases with exercise. More capillaries allow better nutrient flow and faster glucose movement into muscle cells. Metabolic flexibility improves in both training styles. Resistance work creates a wider range of energy use, supporting stronger protection against diabetes. All measured outcomes confirm consistent benefits. Strength-based training delivers the strongest impact on fat reduction, glucose regulation, and insulin performance. Weight trends show steady improvement for both groups. Resistance training produces slightly faster reductions, reflecting changes in muscle composition and fat distribution. Muscle fiber analysis reveals greater density in the resistance group. Thicker fibers improve glucose uptake efficiency and enhance metabolic health. Endurance performance improves steadily with running. The benefits are notable, but remain smaller than the metabolic gains achieved through resistance work. Both fat types decrease. Visceral fat reduction is stronger with resistance training, lowering long-term risk factors for diabetes. Resistance movements stimulate rapid muscle adaptation. This strengthens insulin signaling and supports more efficient glucose handling. Energy use patterns differ. Running consumes more calories in the moment, but resistance work sustains higher post-exercise metabolic activity. Inflammation decreases in both groups. The resistance group shows the most significant drop, reducing metabolic stress and improving overall health. Cell size shrinks more under resistance training. Smaller cells respond faster to insulin and store less harmful fat. Mitochondrial activity rises in both groups. Resistance training enhances energy efficiency, supporting better glucose control. Liver fat decreases across the board. Resistance training delivers the strongest reduction, improving long-term glucose management. Insulin sensitivity improves for both workouts. Resistance training produces sharper gains, promoting stronger glucose regulation. Muscle fiber density rises significantly with resistance training. Denser fibers provide better pathways for glucose absorption. Running boosts endurance and supports moderate metabolic improvement. Gains are steady, but smaller compared to the resistance group. Subcutaneous fat reduces consistently in both groups. Resistance training shows a stronger and more consistent decline over time. Glucose transporters activate more strongly during resistance training. This enhances sugar uptake and stabilizes blood glucose levels. Hormonal balance improves in both groups. Resistance training shows a larger positive effect, reducing insulin stress on the body. Oxidative stress decreases with exercise. The resistance group experiences the largest reduction, supporting better cellular health. Resistance work recruits more muscle fibers at higher intensity. The stronger activation promotes improved glucose metabolism. Metabolic flexibility increases in both groups. Resistance training creates a wider energy range, supporting efficient fuel use and better diabetes protection. Overall results confirm benefits for both workouts. Resistance training delivers the strongest improvements in fat reduction, insulin sensitivity, and glucose management. Visceral fat continues to decline in both groups. Resistance training consistently achieves the greater reduction, lowering the risk of metabolic disorders. Muscle fibers in the resistance group show denser structure. Increased fiber density improves glucose uptake and long-term metabolic resilience. Endurance performance remains steady. While running improves stamina, metabolic benefits remain smaller than those achieved with resistance exercises. Subcutaneous fat drops in both exercise groups. Resistance training produces a more pronounced decrease, reinforcing the advantages of strength-based activity. Short, intense resistance movements enhance muscle activation. The stronger stimulus promotes insulin signaling and improved glucose handling. Calorie burn differs by exercise type. Running expends more calories immediately, while resistance training increases energy expenditure after the session. Inflammation decreases in both groups. Resistance training leads to a larger drop, reducing metabolic stress and improving overall health. Fat cell size reduces more with resistance training. Smaller, responsive cells improve insulin efficiency and glucose regulation. Mitochondrial activity increases in both groups. Resistance work boosts energy efficiency inside muscles, supporting better blood sugar control. Liver fat declines across both exercise types. Resistance training produces the most significant reduction, supporting healthier glucose metabolism. Insulin sensitivity improves steadily. Resistance training delivers sharper gains, enabling more effective blood sugar regulation. Fiber density rises under resistance work. Denser muscles allow greater glucose uptake, improving metabolic efficiency. Endurance exercise enhances stamina. While improvements are consistent, they remain smaller compared to resistance training's metabolic impact. Abdominal fat declines in both groups. Resistance training consistently removes more harmful visceral fat, reducing disease risk. Muscle activation is stronger during resistance sessions. Higher recruitment supports improved glucose metabolism and energy efficiency. Capillary density rises with exercise. Resistance work produces the most significant improvements, allowing better nutrient and glucose delivery. Metabolic flexibility improves in both groups. Resistance training creates a wider range of energy use, supporting stronger protection against diabetes.